Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we give you a fresh perspective on sports, classic debates, hot topics, and NBA news. And in today's episode, the topic is why Giannis Antetokounmpo should join Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat ASAP. So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content, and be sure to check out the show on the Dreamerspro Podcast, which we have linked in the description below, so please make sure you go ahead and check that out. So let's just get straight into this topic here, and I think it's a pretty interesting one for two reasons. Number one, the season is over, okay? We have a champion. It's the Lakers. Congratulations to the Lakers. They pulled it off, and they're the NBA champs. Congratulations to LeBron for winning his fourth NBA championship and fourth finals MVP, NBA finals MVP. So, congratulations to them. But now that the dust is finally settled and the season is finally over and the bubble is over, it's time for us to reflect. But more importantly, it's time for us to look ahead and start making some crazy predictions and suggestions. So in this video, I'm going to explore why I think Giannis Antetokounmpo should try to get his butt down to South Beach. So that's basically what I'm trying to cover here. Now, all of you know that Giannis Antetokounmpo had probably one of the greatest seasons of all time. He's up there with having one of the greatest seasons of all time. Why? Because he won Defensive Player and he won the regular season MVP this year, making it a back-to-back regular season MVP awards. He has two regular season MVPs, one that he got in 2019, obviously this year. 2020, he's a four-time All-Star. He's been on 4 All-NBA teams. Now he has a Defensive Player of the Year award, as I just said. And he's been on 3 All-NBA defensive teams, and he's the most improved player of the year. But if you look at Giannis's numbers this season, they were just cartoonish, right? It was just like it was a video game. The guy averaged 29.5 points a game, got you 13.6 rebounds and 5.6 assists. These are like Shaq numbers, man. And Giannis plays like Shaq. Giannis is the most physically imposing, physically dominant basketball player in the NBA today. No one plays with the amount of ferocity that Giannis Antetokounmpo plays with. And to be fair, he had a fantastic season and he deserved to win regular season MVP. Regular season MVP. If the MVP award was basically a compilation of all the games, including the playoffs, and obviously one would lead towards LeBron winning that award, or even Anthony Davis. But in this case, we're just talking about the regular season, and he deserved to have that award under his belt. However, the Milwaukee Bucks had a great regular season. They had the #1 record in the playoffs, in the regular season, I believe. Going into the playoffs, when we did our brackets not too long ago, I had the Milwaukee Bucks coming out of the Eastern Conference, and I had them actually facing the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals. But boy, were all of us wrong, because remember, the Toronto Raptors got knocked out by the Boston Celtics, and the Milwaukee Bucks got knocked out by the Miami Heat, which is something that none of us saw coming. At least I didn't see it coming, right? Maybe some people, I'm not sure if Stephen A. Smith thought that maybe that matchup would have been a pretty good matchup for Giannis for the Miami Heat. However, it's just something I couldn't see. Nevertheless, the Miami Heat were able to dismantle the Milwaukee Bucks, who a lot of us thought were going to go back to the finals. And probably if they made it to the finals, it would have probably been in a more exciting finals because of the stars in the finals, seeing Giannis going to go up against LeBron. But nevertheless, the Miami Heat made it a very, very interesting, finals, in which case no one had them picked to even win a game, or probably just one game. So Jimmy Butler and these guys really made it competitive. Now, given the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks didn't make it to the NBA Finals, right? And, they got knocked out, I believe it was in the second round. Giannis, I believe, is a free agent this off summer. And Giannis has to make an important decision, because he can either decide to stay with the Milwaukee Bucks, the team he's been with for his entire career, or decide to go play somewhere else. Now, some people have played around with the idea that maybe possibly Giannis can go play with the Golden State Warriors. We've heard that sort of float around. If that's going to happen, I have no idea. But in this particular instance, I think that Giannis would do really well in South Beach. Now, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know if the Miami Heat have the cap room to pull something like that off. We obviously know Pat Riley is a wizard, and these guys have one of the most exceptional organizations in the NBA. So if it comes down to them going through the mental gymnastics and the arithmetic and the algebra to get all this thing to get that type of deal done, if parties are interested in it genuinely, then obviously something like that can be pulled off. And if you doubt that, just think of Kawhi Leonard getting Paul George from the Oklahoma City Thunder, who was under contract and had only played out 1 year under his contract, and was just pretty much able to just get him to just break his contract and say, hey, listen, I want you to come to LA. And he left the team, and somehow, boom, he ended up with the Los Angeles Clippers. I don't know how they were able to pull that off, how he was able to break his contract. So things can happen in the NBA. If parties want them to happen and facilitate them, then they certainly can happen. Now, here's why I think that Giannis and the Miami Heat would be a perfect fit. Number one, we know that Giannis is one of the most competitive players in all of basketball. We know that he refuses to train with other players. It's just his philosophy. He's not one of these chummy guys. I think he's one of these guys that believes, if you're on my team, I'm riding with you. I'm not riding with them. Sort of like a Patrick Beverley type of, demeanor. Patrick Beverley is also one of these type of guys. If you're my teammate, I love you. If you're not on my team, to hell with all of you. And I mean, by all of you, we mean the entire NBA. Giannis seems to have that type of thing with him. And it's the same kind of thing you can kind of sense with the Miami Heat. If you watch these Miami Heat players in this playoffs, one thing you can say about them, man, they are dogs, man. They're dogs. They're mean. They're gritty. They don't stop playing. They're very competitive. That's number one. And I think Giannis and Jimmy Butler would fit well perfectly, because Jimmy Butler is a hard worker. We all know that. He's a great competitor. He doesn't take any nonsense. That's the reason why you saw him. It didn't work out with the Minnesota Timberwolves, because these guys just didn't look serious. I don't think he thought Karl Anthony Towns was a very serious person. Wiggins, I don't even thought he thought Wiggins was that dude. And he spent, I think, a year or two with these guys. And I think he was just like, man, these guys don't have the heart that I need to really compete. There's a story of him playing on them having a scrimmage, and he was playing opposite them, and both of them on the opposite team, and he took the bench players and still beat them. So, Jimmy Butler doesn't like playing with people that are not serious. You saw the same thing with the Philadelphia 76ers. You saw his impact he had with them. But however, if you look at Joel Embiid is not one of the most mature NBA players in the NBA. We all know this. He's probably one of the most delusional ones of them, saying he's the most dominant basketball player, and there's no evidence to point to him saying that, but nevertheless he believes that and goes out and says it. So Joel Embiid is not serious. Ben Simmons doesn't seem to want to take a jump shot ever in his career, or a three-pointer. The guy doesn't shoot. So Jimmy Butler was like, man, these guys don't seem serious about their craft, so he left them. He decided he couldn't play with them. But if you take a player like Giannis, we all know Giannis is all about his craft and improving. If you look at his career trajectory, Giannis has improved every single season in his career. First year he came into the league, he was averaging 6.8 points. The next year he was averaging 12.7 points. The next year he was averaging 17 points. Then he was averaging 23 points. Then he went to 27 points. Then he went to 27.7 points. Then last season he averaged 29.5 points. So Giannis is one of these guys that's all about getting better, that's all about hard work, that's all about competing, that's nasty, just like the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler and these guys. And I think that if he somehow ends up in South Beach, man, I think it'll be a match made in heaven for them if they're able to sort of pull that off. And if Giannis decides that, hey, listen, this is the team I want to go to. Jimmy Butler kind of covers up some of the weaknesses that Giannis has, like his free throw shooting and his perimeter game. In late game situations, they can kind of rely on Jimmy Butler to do that. Jimmy Butler seems a little bit more consistent than Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton was on and off all throughout the playoffs. So for me, I think that if they're able to sort of pull this off, I think then they could probably be the favorites coming out of the East, even though Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to be back, but we don't know how these guys are going to play out. And most importantly, Kevin Durant is coming off of an Achilles tear, so we don't know what he's going to be like when he starts playing basketball again. So these are just my opinions on this particular issue. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think? Do you think that Giannis Antetokounmpo should try to go to Miami Heat and go play with Jimmy Butler, or do you think he should stay put, or he should go to the Golden State Warriors, or whatever? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Be sure to check out some of our other videos that we're going to have linked at the end of this video, and check out some of the other videos that we have on the channel. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it if you enjoyed this video. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.